Welcome back to the Next Gen Collective podcast, where we spotlight the creatives, entrepreneurs, and professionals shaping what's next in our community. Today's episode is about creativity, storytelling, and building a brand through passion and persistence. It's about what it takes to stand out in a busy city and capture moments that actually mean something. And this one is special. So big thank you to our sponsors, Neighbor Media. They are a content creating and sharing machine, helping businesses, charities, and community leaders consistently communicate with the people they want to reach. Visit www.neighbormedia.ca to learn more. So I'm going to get into today's guest, Marcus McPhee, the creative force behind Marcus McPhee Photography. So Marcus is a growing photographer in this busy city, focusing on portraits, celebrations, and events. What sets him apart isn't just the images, it's the emotion. He works on every project with enthusiasm, using his creative eye to capture realism, connection, and the moments that matter most. This April marks Marcus's 10th year as a photographer, a full decade of building his craft, refining his style, and collaborating with clients to create something new every time he picks up the camera. Marcus represents the next generation of creative entrepreneurs, passionate, collaborative, and constantly evolving. Marcus, welcome to the podcast.
Wow, what an intro. Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're going to jump right into it. So let's start with this milestone, 10 years in photography. When you look back at your early work, what stands out to you?
I think what stands out to me the most is I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. Fake it until you make it. Trying to really figure out what path I wanted to go down with photography. At first, I thought, maybe I would do Vogue, like fashion. And then I thought, you know what? Let's pivot and go into family and celebrations because that's what I was getting hired for. So I think that really, I stumbled upon it because I'd had one vision and then other opportunities led me a different way.
Mm-hmm. So what originally pulled you into photography?
You can ask any photographer. They're going to say, well, when I was 6, I was on a family vacation and taking photos. For me, it really started in high school, grade 12, trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do with my life? You're 17, 18. All my friends were going into a traditional route, maybe going into nursing, a lawyer, a doctor. Everyone already has like an idea of what they want to do. In my head, I thought, I don't know what I really want to do. I had a vision in my head. I don't think my job is going to be too traditional. It's going to have to do something with photography or something media related, but I'm not too sure. Mm-hmm. So very ahead of my time, thinking maybe a content creator.
Yeah.
But that's when my journey really started because...
Was it a hobby at first?
Yeah, it was a hobby, just taking photos. But then a family friend just had a baby. Mm-hmm. And my mom pitched an idea to the daughter being like, oh, my son's a photographer. Let's come over and see the baby. She also wanted to see the baby. So yeah. I got to take photos of the baby. The mom loved them. And then that's when I thought, wow, this is so cool. Like I did something and someone loves it. Mm-hmm. And that interaction, it really like sparked an interest to be like, there's something here. There's a gap in the market.
Yeah. How has your creative style evolved over the last decade?
It's a great question. So I would definitely say 10 years ago, that's 2016, there was this major photographer in Toronto. I went to school with him, actually, but he didn't know me. But he was popping off. Everyone wanted to do his one signature style. Mm-hmm. And, of course, like I fall into this trend. And so that's really what kind of like sparked my interest in a style because I was copying someone else's style a bit, but like making it my own.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I need to like pull away from this. This isn't cool. He worked really hard on creating this style.
Yeah.
So let's pivot and work something else and learn my own style. I really like keeping it real as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the presets. I prefer just using natural colors, telling my clients, oh, you should wear blues or like pinks or anything like vibrant, because then their photos are going to pop more when I edit them,
Yeah.
fixing the saturation, the coloring. It's definitely a learning curve, and it's always evolving.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always fun though.
Cool. Well, you focus on realism and emotion. What does that mean in practice, like with your clients?
What that means to me is, and what I've learned over the 10 years is, you really need to have a strategy and a plan to get the realism and emotions from people.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't walk up to a session and be like, oh, worry me, like in a bad mood, because then the clients are going to be uncomfortable. You're
They're
not
going
going
to feed off of
yeah,
that.
they're going to feed off of your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always showing up for yourself and giving the clients everything that they need to have to prepare for the session. So
Mm-hmm.
that's giving them a mood board of clothing, colored scheme, if they need a makeup artist,
Mm-hmm.
just giving them everything that they can be prepared for the session, and giving them that, they're going to feel more confident. I'm going to feel more confident because I'm like, okay, they're well prepared. I'm prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I've done everything that I done on my part, and now it's making them comfortable during the session. So being funny or like
You're so
just
funny.
just hyping them up,
Yeah.
because that's also my job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want someone stiff. Like a big thing with weddings is telling the bride, okay, breathe. It's obviously such a nerve-wracking day.
Mm-hmm.
So I've definitely learned, okay, like just breathe in, breathe out. We'll do like breath works.
Yeah.
And then they get more relaxed and they get calm. And
Yeah.
it's just helping my clients find peace.
Yeah.
'Cause
No, I loved when you did my headshots for me, but you sent me a mood board and gave me like the style and the vision, and it was so helpful.
No, exactly. And that's great feedback. I'm happy to hear that it worked.
Yeah, no, it did. Is there a moment you've captured that really stuck with you? Like any big events or weddings or whatever?
I think my first wedding, I think that will just always stick out to me.
How did it go?
It went good, but basically, it was just such a learning curve. I prepared myself as much as I could. I think I was 20 or 21 at that time. And I didn't know what to do. I got feedback from other people who've done weddings, and I thought, okay, I can definitely handle this. Um, but when you're in that moment, your first big gig, it's so overwhelming. You don't realize how many steps you need to think ahead to capture those moments. Like during weddings, I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead before the next moment.
Yeah.
Like, how do I position myself there? How do I get there
You're running around.
without causing a scene or distracting any of the guests?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely say my wedding, the first wedding, will always stick out to me. And because also your first wedding, you don't really know what to charge. I think
That's a good point.
Yeah.
The money side of things too.
Yeah, I definitely. So I undercharged myself, which is totally okay. A lot of people do. I think I said like $200, and then I got a bonus $200. So in total, I made $400. But then I had a friend assist me during the wedding.
Yeah.
So I paid him $200. So I lost $200. But it was fun. It was just a fun day.
Yeah.
And I knew the money would come back to me later in life.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. And I think that's the main thing with photography, well, with any business, really.
Yeah.
It's okay to start low, and because it's always going to come back. You're always going to make more money.
In a world full of smartphones, how do you differentiate people taking pictures on their phones and stuff to professional photography?
So this is another great question. I think there's always going to be a moment for photographers. Even with our phones, they're so powerful. Now, I remember when I was in high school, it was like maybe 0.5 megapixels. Like it was so pixelated.
Or flip phones.
Yeah, flip phones, BBM, BlackBerry. But I never once thought, oh, my phone, I'm going to use this on the daily, like for sessions. And I think there's always going to be a market for photographers because people who aren't photographers, they're seeking someone with the gear, the professionalism.
Yeah.
They're not going to hire someone with an iPhone.
Yeah.
For certain events.
And I feel like photographers always capture those like little moments that you would never think to do yourself.
Yeah.
Like
no, exactly.
the veil at a wedding blowing in the wind and all that stuff. Like I would never think to do that.
No, exactly. And it's different with iPhones as well versus cameras because I feel like with an iPhone, or with any phones, you pose differently versus with a professional camera. You know there's going to be editing to it. You know it's going to be higher quality.
Yeah.
With an iPhone, it's just for a second. You don't think of the long-term longevity.
Yeah.
Or like the everyday person doesn't think of that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I always think there's going to be a need for photographers. And iPhones are always going to be there, but no one's really going to want that.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want some nice, crisp photos. So photography is both art and business. What's the biggest challenge that you've had in building your brand?
I think the biggest complication is just burnout. I've talked to so many people that I went to school with, and anyone who's creative is in the same boat. It's so easy to get a burnout, and you just lose sight of the big picture so easily. So it's really trying to like take yourself out from the business sometimes. Because most of my friends, they work a 9 to 5. So when it's 5 o'clock, they're clocked out. They don't need to think about work. But when you're creative and you do have a business, you're constantly on a clock.
Well, and you're like going home and editing and stuff.
Yeah.
People don't think of that. They just think of, oh, he's coming to take photos and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's all the behind the scenes
stuff. And so it's easy for a creative person to crash out and like burn out.
Yeah.
I know I did a few years ago. I think it was during COVID, like literally 6 years ago.
Yeah. What a time.
I know, because I did a lot of events at that time leading up to it. That was my main gigs that I was getting for like conferences or business events. So when COVID happened, I thought, thank goodness, I needed this break.
Yeah.
And
I feel like a lot of people felt that way. It was scary at first, but then after a minute, you're like, okay, this was necessary.
Yeah, necessary. And it was a nice time to just be still and be creative again.
But for fun.
Yeah, for fun. So that's something that I really take, I don't take for granted now. I'm like, okay, I need just a peaceful weekend. I just need to relax so I can be creative.
Yeah, I get it. What role does collaboration play in your process? Do you ever do like collabs with other creatives or giveaways, stuff like that?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a place and time for collaborations.
Yeah.
The more you do, obviously, the more it gets out to the public being like, oh, he only does collaborations. So I think over the last few years, I've definitely realized, okay, I need to pick and choose what collaborations really speak to me. If they follow my personal values, of course, I'm going to do it. Not to say that they're bad, but I do think you should limit how many collaborations you should do.
Yeah, because at a certain point, you're just like giving away things for free to You kind of got to be...
You got to be like selective.
Choosy.
Yeah, choosy. But But they're fun though, depending on the project or the collaboration.
Yeah.
They can be so fun.
What's an example of one that you've done?
It would be during Christmas time with Samantha, the insurance broker.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing a 10-year celebration for her business, and she wanted a photographer for a Christmas backdrop. So we collaborated with that, and it was really fun.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think young creatives underestimate about turning art into income? Like, is there something that you underestimated when you were starting out?
I think I thought it was going to be really easy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when I graduated from college from my photography program, I thought people are going to be lining up outside for me. Like, I truly thought that, and I feel like everyone also thinks that, not just in the creative industry. It's anyone who graduates school. It's thinking, I'm going to apply for this one job. Boom, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
Then next day, I'm going to be CEO.
It's that little entitlement.
Yeah. But it doesn't work like that. I think it's a work in it's a growing process. You have, especially in art form, it's like, how do you sell this? How do you get people to see your work? And luckily for me, it's always been community based. Okay, I'm going to network with the people that I know already. And
you're going to join the Chamber of Commerce.
Exactly. And it's getting your name out there and just networking. That's how people find you and
it's so
learn
powerful.
about you. Yeah.
People don't realize how powerful it is coming out and meeting people and putting a face to the name. And then they fall in love with you as a person like I did. And I was like, I want to work with Marcus.
No, exactly. So it's like that for the arts and the business side. And it's also trying to figure out business. Because my mom's a potter. She was a part of the Pine Tree Potters in Aurora.
Okay.
So I help her with her socials. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this is how we should market it. Because pottery's so in right now. So I'm like, this is the time.
It's fun.
And I take everything that I've learned from my photography and help her with that pottery side.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the photos. So they're going to be high quality.
Yeah.
And they're going to look amazing. So it's learning everything that I've known.
Yeah. Do you ever deal with comparison in such a competitive industry?
Totally. I think everyone does. I would be lying if I said I didn't. It's so easy to get lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. Love that.
For me, I try and limit myself on my photography account unless if I am talking to a client online or if I need to post something. Obviously, I'm going to be on my account, but I try and just post and then switch over to my personal account. So then I'm not scrolling and doom scrolling and thinking, oh, wow, this person got that gig.
Yeah.
Oh, this person has another client or this person has 5 shoots this week.
Yeah.
I have none. It's so easy to compare and think, well, why did they get that and I didn't? And that's not healthy.
So positive for you to be like, I'm just going to switch out of that account so I don't see all that.
But I definitely wasn't like that at the beginning. I thought I need to be on social media 24/7 as a millennial as well. Being on social media is everything.
Yeah, so totally.
It's definitely been a work in progress, but definitely the last few years, I'm like, I need to limit this. It's unhealthy. So I think for anyone who's listening, give yourself time. Maybe set a clock for a timer for 15 minutes, being like, I'll be on this account.
Yeah.
And
or answer the DMs.
Yeah, answer the DMs, answer what needs to get done.
Answer comments and then get out.
And get out because it's so easy, especially a creative person. It's easy to get inside your head.
Yeah, that kind of answered my next question. I was going to say what mindset shift helped you level up, but stuff like that. I feel like that's the social side. Is there any other things that you've changed to do with mindset?
I think it's also showing up for your community and your peers as well. Because it's so easy. Anyone has access to the upload button, but it's after uploading and seeing who's liking it, who's commenting. So I find for me, I'm going to like anything. If you follow me, of course I'm going to like it. Like
That's so kind of you.
Yeah, I follow you.
Yeah.
So it's just showing up for other people because I know they're going to show up for me. And I get so many people like saying, you're liking everything. You're always commenting and supporting. I'm like, oh, well, of course. Like that's the whole
what community
point.
is. How important is community support in growing your creative business? You kind of touched on this though.
I think it's very important, especially starting out any business. You really have to start with the people that you know first. And then once they're hooked, it's easier to get other people hooked.
Yeah, I feel like entrepreneurship and community go hand in hand. Like when you work for a big company and stuff, you don't really need that community aspect.
No,
but
because they already have, sorry to cut you off. They already have a big name at that point, like any corporate. But a small business or a photography business, you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
And so when I was starting off, I only relied on my parents to tell their friends to hire me or talk about my business because at that time, I was in college. All my friends were in college. We're all broke. So
amen.
Yeah. So only my parents' friends or their businesses could maybe afford me. Yeah. I'm not saying that my prices were outrageous at that time, but it's true though. That was my network is my family friends, and my friends. So it's just getting my name out and talking to them about what I'm doing.
Yeah. So as you hit the 10-year mark, what's next?
Hopefully another 10 years.
Hopefully.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I will. But I think it's more expanding my business. Hopefully a studio, but it's fun working from my home. It's more personal and I feel like it's more inviting. But it would be nice to have a bit more space to have things up.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe have a studio of some sort.
And then, just really focusing more on local events and just getting my name more out there. Never hurts. There's so many potential clients out there, and there's always a client for everyone.
Yeah. Any last advice that you would give someone under 40 pursuing a creative career?
Yeah, so I was actually talking to my cousin a few months ago about this. They own a farm company, like they're farmers out in Brockville. And I was telling them anyone can, if it was easy, anyone would be doing it. And they're in their early 50s now, and they just started this business maybe 5 years ago. Yeah. And I said, it's never too late. Like, you can be 50, 60, 70, 15, and you can do anything. Like, we all think, oh, we have a time limit. Our success in our peak is our 30s or 40s, but that's so not the case. Yeah. You can literally start anything at any time. Yeah. It's just showing up for yourself, and I think that's the main thing. So anyone who's 40 or under, just start it.
Yeah, just do the thing.
Do it. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
The only thing that's going to hurt is you not doing it and you not showing up.
Yeah. Okay, we're going into our last little segment. Sure. So rapid fire questions, quick answers. So the first one, portraits or events?
I would say portraits.
Portraits. Okay. Most underrated photography skill?
Learning how to plan. Because I feel like that's a skill that not everyone can have. It's a learning thing. Yeah. It's like, how do you plan to be on location? How do you plan to pack your car with all the gear that you have? So it's this, I think, organization and like planning.
Do you have a favorite local food spot?
Yeah, I've really been loving Frankie Paninis.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, really good beside the library.
Yeah.
I just love the Brewer sandwich and then the Frankie signature. It's
Yum.
really good.
Creativity is blank.
Creativity is hard.
Is hard. That's a good one.
Mhm.
Success right now means blank.
I think success is fun.
It is fun.
It's fun. And it's also like a reading game as well.
Yeah. And then last question. You kind of answered it though. What are you building next?
I don't want to like say too much, but I guess this is building your business and, well, my business and seeing what I can really take on and expanding.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Marcus, congratulations on 10 years behind the lens, and thank you for sharing your journey with us. For everyone listening, if you're building something creative or thinking about turning your passion into profession, this episode was for you. This is the Next Gen Collective, spotlighting the creatives and leaders shaping what's next in our community. Follow us on Instagram at ACOCYEP, and we will see you in the next episode.